Oh, hello. Welcome to today's Decay. Celebrating births and beginnings and everything important since the dawn of time, September 12th edition. What happened today? The Flatwoods UFO incident occurred in 1952 in West Virginia. Do you know what the Flatwoods monster, UFO, whatever looks like? Um, kind of has this like metal base, um, cylindrical, and almost like a single person craft, perhaps, maybe. Not definitely, but you never know. And this, like, headdress of a sort. Is it, um, is it from out of this world? Is it a cryptid? Nobody even knows. Like, how do they even define this thing? It's like either a monster or a UFO incident. They don't like the mind boggles as to what the Flatwoods creature is all about. But there's like a whole fan base for this mystery out there in the wilds of West Virginia that you should really check out. I could only compare it to something like a Dalek from Doctor Who, but there's no comparison. This is 10-ish years before Doctor Who, and I do not believe the creators of Doctor Who caught wind of this curiosity. But it's really fun to think about, whatever the hell it is. Yeah. Right. The Blob, premiered today, 1958. Steve McQueen. Great stuff. I have embarrassingly never, not even once in my life, been to Blobfest. It's like just down the road a piece as far as from the cosmic scale goes. It's like in rural Pennsylvania. Like I think it's outside of Philadelphia, which I went to college in Philadelphia, so I was like really close to Blobfest when that happened. Very close to congealing with the blob. But yeah, never been. It looks like so much fun. It's in like the theater, because it was like filmed there in not rural Pennsylvania, but like outskirts. Is it suburbs of Philly? Something like that. They do like a whole event where they show the movie, and there's like, I think Gula Gogo usually performs there, and it looks like a great time. And every year, somehow, I miss it. Much like I was just talking about that Mahoning drive-in. So close, yet so far away. Monster Bash. I can say the same thing about Monster Bash in the outskirts of Pittsburgh, PA. Been on my bucket list for 25 years. Maybe more. One of these days, one of these years. I wonder if they even have these days, because it's all like it's a horror convention that's solely classic monster related. And you know how many people associated with that in one form or another are like still around and kicking and part of the convention circuit. I don't know, but one day, bucket list, the Blob, Blobfest. Susan Lewis, born today, 1960. Once upon a time, she was one of the 3 people involved with the creation of the meteors. Yeah. Which then becomes the beginning of psychobilly. I wouldn't be the person I am today without her writings. You know, while some may view this stuff as like, oh, it's, you know, graveyards and you know, kitschy lyrics, you look at their lyrics and it's like Philip K. Dick references and like drug-induced otherworldly travels that has nothing at all to do with, like, you know, kitschy expected psychobilly norms or anything like that. And you know, her work goes on with the Escalators and the Tall Boys and Solo Record and the Johnson Family and the Radioactivators. If you don't know the Radioactivators, that was Susan's daughter and Vince Clarke's daughter were both big fans of Mary-Kate and Ashley, and somehow, some way, were able to create this really great, like, dark rockin' synth 45 that like made it onto the soundtrack of this Mary-Kate and Ashley movie. I think like just to impress their daughters. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I was lucky enough to meet her in a previous incarnation. I want to say in Satanic Stomp, maybe 1999, in like Gooderslow, something in that ballpark. Became friendly. I forget exactly how I got their phone number. Winds up being featured in my documentary, Psychobilly, A Cancer on Rock and Roll, where like it's their comparison with Paul Fennick's view of the world, and then like their ripple effects of like everybody and anybody they like touched along the way, as far as like, you know, who else was like overcome with this music and everything. That's like 2002 that filming happened. Yeah, I remember at the time we were talking. That movie shoot was really interesting because, like, I think I caught a lot of people at a point where like nobody was expecting anybody to care about this ever again, and a good deal of the people who I interviewed were never even like on camera for anything before, really. I think Damage by Worms said that to me, for instance. And in this case, I remember specifically talking about the escalators and how they thought that it was like maybe a little too wimpy. And I was like, yeah, but like something's missing. It has like the best lyrics that I could think of. You know, I mean, I remember like singing them back to her or him at the time. And thinking while I was singing it back, this is like, you know, after many hours on like the night bus back in the direction that we were both living. This is ridiculous that I'm like defending the validity of this song to the songwriter, but whatever. It's really good lyrics, you know. What is it like? Says to me, there's no beauty anymore. You're ugly and you're rich, you're ugly and you're poor, and it says to me they're more equal as brothers. It's just that some are more equal than others. There's something missing. I'm gonna get into copyright infringement, and you don't want to hear me sing. Yeah. Anyway, right. What else? Eventually, I booked Susan as Nigel at the time in New York City for New Year's Eve 2004, 5, 6, something in that ballpark, backed by like local musicians, and you know, it was all just a wonderful time where she recounted like all sorts of ridiculous rock and roll history stuff about like being a, you know, like delivering telegrams to Buckingham Palace in 76, 77, something like that, and asking to use the bathroom while they're there. And they say, yeah, no problem. It's right up the, you know, right up the hallway. You know, thanks. And like, she went in and spray painted like "God Save the Sex Pistols" in Buckingham Palace's bathroom and ran out. And like me and my roommate at the time were just like, "What are we listening to? This is ridiculous." Yeah. All right. I know there's now a record. I don't have it handy with her new song. The Vampire of Old New Amsterdam. I don't have the record handy, but I'm looking forward to more and more content from Susan Lewis in the years to come. Let's hear it for that, right? We wouldn't be here without her. Jeepers Creepers Theater premiered today, 1962. That is with Bob Guy, who was a celebrity, really. The most popular Los Angeles horror host following Vampira, and he had a lot of competition, so that's saying something. And he looked kind of like Screaming Lord Sutch. Check out Bob Guy, and he did a great Rock and Roll 45, a horror host Rock and Roll 45 with Frank Zappa. as well, backing him. And then 1987, the film Near Dark premiered, which I'm doing this near the end of the day because it almost got away from me. But there you go. September 12th, the whole day, from me to you. Till tomorrow.